Thanks, Doug.
Sure. You guys are ready.
Thank you.
I'll call our meeting to order. The Hendricks County Recycling District. Please join us in pledge of allegiance to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We do have a quorum. Thank you all for being here. Chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of our July 22nd meeting.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved twice and seconded twice. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And one abstention. Public comments. We're kind of all public to a certain extent. Doug, you want to make a speech or anything? Okay. Thank you. All right, outreach coordinators report.
Morning. Excuse me, Katie and I have been busy in schools the last couple months. We started off with a bang between our book bins, STEM kits, and in-person classroom presentations. We've seen over 3,500 students already this year. So, and that's with some of our schools making it a little more difficult to communicate with them. So we're happy about that.
So, Amy.
Some of our schools want communication to go through the superintendent's office instead of directly to the schools, and then it doesn't necessarily get down to the schools. So we're still
Any
getting
school
there.
corporation in particular?
Avon.
I was going to ask that. It was
And Amy's been in communication with their communication director to kind of explain the issue, and I had a brief conversation with the superintendent at one point as well, and not been a lot of movement, but
I guess I'm a little surprised at that with the superintendent there. Yeah.
well, and it, yeah.
Maybe it's right below him, so, yeah, okay.
But they're still very busy
Yeah.
despite that. So.
But you are in the Avon school?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. And doing a great job.
Thank you.
Both of you, yeah.
Of the 3,500 students, just trying to understand how these are spread out over the county school systems. Where's your main, where are your 2 or 3 main focuses, or as far as concentration of students, what school corporations?
I don't know that I could say that for sure. Probably Brownsburg right now. They tend to really want us in the 4th, 5th high ability classrooms across the board. And with Brownsburg, if you're seeing one grade level in one school, they want all the grade levels in the district to have the same thing. So that's why we get
Consistency
a
there,
lot
so,
of, yeah.
okay. And they're easy to work with?
Yeah.
Any other questions for Amy or Katie? Lynn,
All
you're
right.
up.
Thank you all for being here. We do appreciate it. We'll start with our program results. These in your packet there. We did wrap up our Toxaway Day season on October 18th at Hummel Park in Plainfield. We had a beautiful fall day there and had 878 vehicles through, which was 10 fewer than that same event last year, and it just it wasn't quite as smooth this time around, and we don't have necessarily a good explanation, but things kind of got bogged down here and there, and to the point where traffic was backed up, even onto the county road a little bit, which, based on how we set it up, was a little surprising. But nonetheless, we got through it. People were mostly satisfied. We're already getting calls and emails from folks since that time with stuff to get rid of and how moving and what do we do, and we have some resources to give them, but those calls never stop. Even though we've offered 5 Tox Away days this spring, summer, and fall, people still have stuff. So for the year, we did 4,141 participants through the 5 events, 7 fewer than last year, but 76 ahead of the average, so we're about where we normally are with that program. Our 2026 Tox Away days are set. You all had a sticky note, I think, on the front of your packet there. A couple of comments about that. We obviously rely on the venues that host these events, and we do appreciate their generosity. So it's the Avon School Corporation, Brownsburg School Corporation, Guilford Township Park, and then the fairgrounds for 2 of them. Something I've noticed the last couple of years is it's just been getting more difficult to get those dates scheduled. When we start trying to avoid spring break and fall break and holiday weekends, and then the fairgrounds obviously is very busy spring through fall. So it's just becoming a little more difficult to get those scheduled to the point. If you notice, we've got 2 scheduled in May of 2026. There are 5 Saturdays, so we were able to put some space between them. And we normally start in Brownsburg and then go to Danville, but the way it worked out, we've had to flip-flop that for next year. I'm concerned there may be some residents that assume that first one's going to be in Brownsburg, despite our best efforts, but we will manage it best we can. So just wanted to point that out, but those are set. I've got more of those sticky notes if you have them or want them and want to help distribute. We're happy to have you do that. Our yard waste recycling centers, I sound like a broken record, but we continue to break records, and we expect we'll have more than 7,000 users this year. To kind of put that in perspective, 2023 was the first year that we eclipsed 6,000 users at our yard waste recycling centers, and this year we're already going to top 7,000. This chart is in your packet as well. If you'll take a look at that, I keep talking about how much busier they are, but this really kind of tells the story.
That is effective.
The chart looks back at the annual total for the last 20 years. And the green line you see there, 2009, prior to that, we had 3 yard waste recycling centers. We also had one here in Danville, but at the end of 08, the board opted to close that since Green Cycle was here in town. And then you can see we were pretty steady up until 2020. Took the COVID dip that lots of programs did, returned to normal, and then 2023, 24, and now 25, we see the real spike. So it's good news, bad news. Good news is we're keeping a lot more material out of the landfill. We're recycling a lot more of that stuff that really shouldn't be there to begin with, but it's costing us quite a bit more to manage it. And I've mentioned it before, but I believe the biggest driver of all of this has been that when Waste Management purchased Ray's Waste Management, and the other haulers that are now in the market are just a lot more particular about what they'll put in the truck, and are following the rule that's on the books much closer than Ray's was. So that's my belief as to what's causing this. We'll talk a little bit more this morning about kind of the fallout, the additional costs that we're seeing as a result. But one point I wanted to make was I showed that same chart to our CAC, Citizens Advisory Committee, earlier this month when we met, and they had good questions and understood. And the suggestion that came from them was, well, it's costing us more to do it. Does it make sense to consider raising the fees that we're charging at the yard waste recycling centers? And I'll say we have not made any meaningful changes to those rates since I've been here. You know, to give you a sense of like a lawn and leaf bag full of material is about $1. If you bring it to the yard waste recycling center, you bring a pickup truck bed full of brush or whatever, depending on how big your truck bed is and how high you stack it, it's gonna be $10, $12, $15. So we certainly don't want to just dissuade our residents from doing the right thing and recycling this, but is it time to consider adjusting those rates? So I asked that question of the board for some guidance, and I hear what you have to say.
What is your recommendation to us?
I don't have a firm recommendation. I think it probably makes sense to at least look at it a little closer. My only hope would be if we're going to do it, let's look at it and make the decision while the sites are closed so that we can implement whatever, if we're going to change it when they open April 1st, as opposed to trying to do it in the middle of the season. I don't think that's wise.
So we have some time to think about this with probably 2 more board meetings between now and then.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I could bring, if the board would like to look at it, I could bring, look at what we're doing now and try to bring a recommendation to our next meeting if that.
I tend to look at things as percentages. If you could show us the increase by percentage, it would help us determine what a reasonable adjustment would be.
So percentage change in the price.
Our cost.
Just give us a historical versus our cost. I think you gotta look at the data. I mean, in essence, you are running a business, right? And the cost of doing business increases, as we all know, and
they're providing a service
That's
as
right.
well as running a business.
that's exactly right.
It's a combination, and
Yeah, so, but I think pull together the data and let's take a look at it and be more proactive, and there's no sense in losing money, right, and barely breaking even,
Well, and
especially
we're-
with the demand.
well, you're losing money.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah, to kind of, and I don't have, these are kind of broad strokes, but we usually, revenue for the yard waste sites combined is between $35,000 and $40,000 a year, and it costs us, last year was about $100,000 between personnel and utilities and managing.
Factor the depreciation, all that new equipment sitting out in Liston.
Right.
So,
Definitely, let's just pull together the data and let's look at it. If you can email that out to us in the next week or two, that'd be great, so we can start to look at it.
Okay.
Right?
So are you
Talk
saying that
offline.
100% increase would bring us to break even?
No, I don't think you'll get there.
No.
I mean, in reality, on accounting, I think it's raise it 20 times and you might get closer. But it's a service, and
right, and,
It is a service.
yeah, and I don't.
We need to look at just an incremental increase, and not like Dan said, percentages, not 30%. You can't do that to consumer.
No.
That's right.
You gotta gradually
10.
get there. You gotta have some kind of built-in rate adjustment over time. You
We should
can't
have
do it all
some
once.
simple
And that's where we
policy
went
that
wrong.
allows
Yeah.
even a director to do that from time to time. Because the downside is if you haven't raised them for 5, 7, 8 years, you're not even keeping up with the cost of doing business.
I mean, in my perspective of the entity and the board, there's really 2 goals, and it's to prolong the life of the landfill, which these yard waste centers do,
Yep.
and education. Those are the 2 main paths there that this entity and board should be managing, and so this falls in that, right? You can't be running in the red year over year, so let's take a look at it.
Okay. We will, I'll put pen to paper and get something out to the board before our next meeting. While we're still talking about yard waste sites, an update with regard to the Plainfield location. We've been talking a while about a likely relocation there. Thanks to Mr. Bridget's help, we do have I have a meeting with a couple members of Plainfield staff on the 6th of November to discuss where it might be going. Sounds like it may be out at the old Belleville wastewater treatment plant, which is County Road 601 South, is that right? Yeah. So if you're at Cartersburg and US 40, Cartersburg Road and US 40, go west and take the first county road south. I get there, Martha's Orchard is down that
Yes.
way.
Goes
Okay.
right by Ray's,
Yep.
or Waste Management, excuse
Yep.
me.
It is on, yep.
Goes right by there, yeah.
So it is in they're along the county road there. North side of the road, there are some residential homes. South side of the road, it looks mostly just wooded. So that's the working idea that the town has put forth. So I hope to learn more November 6th.
When we had our, we'll call it our retreat, there was a brief discussion on that. Part of your discussion at that meeting, and Dan, I guess, is there any financial, where's the dollars coming from for all the improvements and the level of improvements? Just know that that needs to be worked out.
Actually, that's what they're gonna talk about tomorrow. That's right. Yeah, they'll get into that fairly deeply. Who will pay for what? It has a new fence around it. There's a new metal building on it. There's a full restroom facility there, but there's also a pond. There's gonna be dirt that needs to be moved. And we'll probably wanna make improvements in terms of, it really should be paved and there should be a permanent backstop.
In the town of Plainfield, residents are gonna benefit the greatest.
Oh, absolutely.
And what Plainfield does is always.
Yeah, the whole
top shelf.
south end of the county is going to benefit. But-
Yes.
But there's
Yeah.
definitely a benefit to the citizens of Plainfield.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I hope to know more.
What kind of timeline do you think they're on as far as needing to vacate the other site? Is it prior, even be able to open in the spring?
It's nebulous, and it's been nebulous for about 4 years. It's all around the development of Echo Hollow Park and what's going on. It is gaining momentum, but still, the federal people, Fish and Wildlife people are very, very cautious about any changes in that area. So it's been an ongoing negotiation, as long as I've been on the board, 10 years. So.
I hope to learn more on the 6th, but yes, those are all good questions and should know more. All right, back to our program results. Coatesville and North Salem, not a lot to say. Both centers are doing fine. Each are up about 3 tons over the same time last year. I will note here that as part of the grant review process, the CAC made a recommendation as it related to a request from the town of Coatesville about some cameras for the recycling center there. So we'll circle back to that later in the meeting. But Liston Recycling Center, we continue to average over 600 users a week. Tuesdays and Saturdays are our busiest days out there. And that's 70 more per week on average than last year. So, and we're seeing 10 plus new folks every week coming to the center. So it is busy and growing. Since we opened, we've had 70,000 visitors, and we'll soon be over 900 tons collected. So people are responding.
How many people from outside of the county are attempting?
We're not checking IDs or asking. We get some folks from Boone County, certainly, because it's right there. You know, it's one of those kind of the cost of doing business there, and if they're coming there, we know they're following the rules because they're being watched. So at least they're also bringing us good stuff. So, yeah.
Lynn, is it primarily the 2 staff members that we met?
Good question.
On the trip out there that staffed that, or do you have others?
There are 4 total. Mr. Miner, the older gentleman that was there, he's there about every shift. He's there all the time, and then the other.
He owns it.
Yes, sir. Yes. And yes, I usually get a phone call every day with this, that, or the other, and that's fine. He's proud of it and takes good care of it. So yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
Just since you brought up the question about the outside of the county residents, could we have a tiered fee schedule as a, in county, out of county?
So for at the Liston Recycling Center, we're not charging anybody anything to use it. at our yard waste recycling centers, we are much more careful about who does use that.
Okay.
To the point down in Brownsburg, or down in Plainfield, they're asking for IDs because we get a lot of people from Morgan County and just based on where it's located, so, yeah. And it's not perfect, it isn't. We also don't want we don't want commercial loads as well. Well, we know we get some, there's just only so much you can do. If somebody's willing to stand there at the window and lie to you about where it's coming from, what can you do? So, our attendants are pretty good at sniffing it out, but that doesn't necessarily dissuade everybody, but yeah, so.
Some better than others.
Yes, I know of who you speak, yes. Board workshop or recap, well, I'm sorry, any other questions on kind of our program stuff and what's shaping there? Okay. Board workshop recap, last Tuesday we spent the afternoon with Mrs. Marsh, Mr. Dawes, Mr. Wicker in Bundy Lodge at Arbuckle Acres, and I very much appreciate them making the trip out there. I know some of the rest of you had conflicts, weren't able to make it, but Amy and Katie did a great job of diving into more in depth about our youth education programs, and those three even got to meet some of the worms firsthand that are used in the vermicomposting activity that we do in the schools. I outlined during my time some of the challenges we're facing with our Tox Away days, and I kind of mentioned some of those this morning. And then what other districts our size are doing, how a permanent HHW facility, household hazardous waste facility for Hendricks County could look, how it could operate, and what materials we might accept through that. And then we visited the Brownsburg Yard Waste Recycling Center and Liston Recycling Center, so they could see both of those in action. That's a pretty brief recap, but anything from any of the three of you that were able to attend?
I just comment, Lynn, on you and your staff. I mean, you're all very passionate, and it was more than an appearance. It's clearly a very well-run organization, and you have good staff, and it was refreshing to see.
Thank you. Makes a difference.
That was awesome, and your dedication is well evident for all three of you. So, great benefit to the county.
It was worthy of my time.
Good. Well, we appreciate you being there. Kind of dovetail a little bit there. I'll give you a little update about our kind of what we're looking at for district office and household hazardous waste facility, a little bit of an update. Since our July meeting, I've asked a lot of questions of other districts, near and far, about what they're doing, because really the household hazardous waste portion of this project will kind of dictate the size of the building, how we lay it out, site plan, those kinds of things. I visited facilities in Shelby, Johnson, and Hamilton County, learned a lot there. All of those are new builds or recent renovations, and those directors are very, very helpful, willing to help. Saw aspects I liked and aspects I didn't like at all of them, and that's how you learn. I shared photos and talked through some of that with at the board workshop last week. I also spent almost a week in Naperville, Illinois in September at the North American Hazardous Materials Management Association Conference, where people from all over the nation that do this kind of work. It was a great conference, learned a lot. I met a gentleman there who has consulted on these kinds of projects since the 80s, has helped build a lot of them, especially on the West Coast. And he presented multiple times, learned a lot of do's and don'ts from him as well. And he is willing to be a resource for us should we feel like we need it down the road. I don't know that we'll necessarily get there. I think he's also willing to just kind of be a sounding board if we don't need a full-blown consultant on it, so we'll see. Kind of the next step, and this came out of the board workshop, was here in the next couple of weeks, Mr. Wicker, Mr. Dawes, and John Ayers, our county engineer, and I are going to get together, really look at the ground out by the airport and see what might make sense for where we actually put this. We obviously want to be easy to navigate and easy to find for our residents. We want to stay out of the way of the highway department. So what's going to make sense? So, and then we'll begin to work on a lease agreement with the county, and need a legal description in order to do that lease. So those are kind of some next steps. So, any comments from either you gentlemen or anyone else?
Yeah, we need to make sure we put that, have that conversation with John, make him aware of it.
Right.
Okay.
You know, okay.
I'll wait to hear from someone, and we'll go from there.
We're ready to nudge us, although if Todd's, probably get Todd involved as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
He executes things for us.
Understood. Okay, moving on the agenda, let's see. Additional board meeting. I believe we're going to need, I don't believe we are going to need to meet again before the end of the year. Most of it has to do with figuring out final details for a salary resolution for next year. Still some confusion with exactly how the county is going to execute what they're doing, and we need to mirror what the county does. So there's some question marks. Mrs. Marsh has been helping me work through some of that, and I'll have more questions. Hopefully we'll have some answers. I do anticipate we're going to need to do an additional appropriation to help with some of those budget overruns with regard to the yard waste recycling centers and personnel, which isn't a surprise based on how we've had to budget for personnel in the past, and maybe also some budget transfers. So I don't believe it's going to be a long meeting. We could push it back to 7:30 if that would be helpful. I think we can execute everything.
I wouldn't change it, then it just changes our habit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Earlier the better.
All right.
Leave it.
We'll keep it at 7. And the fourth Tuesday is going to be the 25th of November. That'll be the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. So, okay. We will get that advertised and look forward to that. Let's talk briefly about 2026 board meeting dates. Is the board comfortable with continuing to meet quarterly? January, April, July, and October, and we'll do
We're okay with that?
more meetings if necessary.
Heads are nodding, so, yeah.
Do?
I appreciate your telephone calls and, the communications for important things. Yeah, and the quarterly works out fine.
Okay, well, we'll continue to do the email updates in between. Okay. I usually meet with a couple board members in the fall to do kind of a performance review for myself. I'd appreciate that opportunity again if you all are willing to do that. So
I've done that, and probably should be still involved. Then another
Happy to be
person
involved, or
wanna join?
Danny, you and I did it once or twice, I think.
Yeah.
Dan, you and I did it once with him, so you need to,
I'm available.
yeah. I'm available.
You're the chairman.
Brad's available, it's fine. We can make it
You've
work.
done it, you haven't,
No,
or
I've
you
done it.
have
I've done
done
a
it.
couple with him,
You
yeah.
haven't,
have not.
fine, Brad, we'll do it. Okay, is that okay?
Good.
All right.
okay, I'll be in touch with you two.
And if anybody else
Absolutely.
wants to just send us an email and say, here's what we think, please do that. That'll be fine.
Okay.
And then, Lynn, we'll leave it on your shoulders to communicate with us and get a date. So we'll put that together.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
One other question for the board right now. For the last handful of years, we've done a year-end luncheon, usually at the Country Club of Indianapolis. get a room out there and invite staff, board, CAC members, and everybody can bring a guest if they'd like. It's been appreciated. It's been a nice time together. Is that something the board would like to do again? And if so,
It's very nice.
We're your guests, so thank
Sure.
you.
Yeah, well, I think there's a couple of us up here that have membership there, so,
okay.
yeah. So that's fine. Yeah.
All right, then
Feel free to put that together.
we'll work to get a date on the calendar and get that communicated. Thank you. We'll look forward to it. All right, I think that was it for the director's report.
Keep going then, Lynn, on the financial
All right.
report.
Our financial facts summary, month-end snapshot for July, August, and September. Not a lot to point out here. Pretty status quo for this time of year. Over on the income chart, I will say that we are about $25,000 ahead of final disposal fee income this year versus last year, and about $184,000 ahead of the average through the third quarter. So those adjustments to the tipping fees that you all have approved, we are seeing the benefit of that on the income side. Our yard waste recycling centers were almost $8,600 ahead of where we were last year, and over $15,000 ahead of the average. And again, when we're talking $35,000, $40,000, it's a pretty good increase. So the back side of that one, you can see some comparison charts for final disposal fee. Things were pretty slow in January, February, and August, but big months in July and September, and it just kind of speaks to the variability of that income stream. It's hard to predict. The third quarter reports are next here. The blue column shows last year's results through the same time. I mentioned likely requesting additional appropriation for personnel and for our yard waste recycling centers. So to give you a sense, we've spent almost $63,000 at the yard waste recycling centers so far. We budgeted $45,000 for this year. That 63 does not count they just cleaned out Brownsburg again last week. I haven't seen that invoice yet. And I think Plainfield's on the agenda for them this week. So that'll be another $21,000, $22,000. So we'll need some additional money to help with that. And just to remind you all the way that process works, I'll request that at this November meeting, and then it'll forward that on to the county auditor. The county council will need to ultimately approve that to step through the process to keep everybody happy. So far, income has exceeded expenditures by almost $73,000 for the year. So, any questions on any of that? If not, we've got some registers of claims, 3 for the general fund and then 1 for the special projects fund.
We need to approve these.
Move to approve as presented.
Second. Been moved and seconded to approve the claims August 26th. And that includes the register October 28th. We'll put those together in that motion.
Yes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Thank you. Okay,
I
Lynn?
think Mr. Bridget made the motion.
Yes.
Make the motion, who seconded then?
Mr.
Thank you
Hendricks.
very much.
Yep. Lynn, go ahead on new business, the CAC report, and
Checking to see if any of our CAC members made it this morning, but our Citizens Advisory Committee met on October 10th. All but one member participated. It was a good meeting as usual, and I want to say these folks, they take their duties seriously, ask good questions, give good feedback, and they're certainly an asset to the district, so we do appreciate their participation. The board packet included notes from that meeting and a spreadsheet that summarized the recommendations from the CAC related to the grant applications. We had 6 applications, requested a little over $20,000, and after discussion, the recommendation was to fully or partially fund 5 of the 6 recommendations for a total of a little over $8,400. There was about a little over $10,000 that was earmarked that could have been assigned, awarded, but 84,2667 was what the CAC believed should be awarded. And I mentioned earlier the town of Coatesville's request for the cameras. So I guess I'll leave it up to you all, maybe determining how you want to handle those actual grant requests and those recommendations first, and then maybe we can talk about the CAC's recommendation as it related to the town of Coatesville.
okay. So let's, Chair would entertain discussion or a motion on all of these recommendations except the town of Coatesville. We'll discuss that after we make that determination on the others. So what's the pleasure of the board on Avon Washington Township Library, Cascade High School, Friends of the Plainfield Library, Hendricks County Parks and Recreation, and then our Shepherd Lutheran Church and School?
We accept staff recommendations.
Second.
Then moved and seconded to accept the recommendation from Lynn as recommended by the CAC, our Community Advisory Council. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Now, town of Coatesville has 2 cameras facing the recycling bins in town, which are good to an extent, it says. Our problem now is the backside of the bins. There's no cameras there, so they are requesting, I'm assuming, cameras on the backside then, or is this to replace all the cameras?
No, it is to add 2 additional cameras, and a little background here. Town of Coatesville, they appreciate their recycling center, and they have made some definitive moves to help protect it. Town council put an ordinance in place to allow for fines of up to $2,500. Their constable or marshal, I don't know what, their local law enforcement there has written at least 10 tickets, I believe, for people that have been abusing it. And it has been as a result of information from the existing cameras. So their request is to add a couple of more cameras to an area that is not well covered. These must be pretty robust cameras. The total amount of the project, they were for the equipment and installation was $8,000. Their request through the grant program is capped out at $5,000, and that's what they had asked for. The CAC's posture was this: we feel like this is something the district should support, but since it's more of our own program that we're helping to protect, maybe it would be more appropriate for the money to come from the Special Projects Fund.
And to fund all of it, so to fund the 8,000?
I'll leave it up to you all to,
Is that the way I read this? The recycling district should fund the full request through the Hendricks County Special Projects Fund. So is the full request, well, the grant request is the full request. I assume that's 5,000.
$8,467 or $26.
This isn't a typical grant, though, that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
Right.
correct.
Okay.
Mr. President, if I
Yeah,
might,
sure.
did Jerry Decker talk to you about,
I have not heard from Jerry.
okay, because they have an issue similar to what we have on Vestal Road. I don't think the individual or individuals are resisting, they just don't have any money for cleanup. Actually, Coatesville wants to tear the house down, but they can't do that because the lady lives in there, it's a horrible house, but they got 2 old cars. I said, make the request to, they'd make the request to us and then to you, right?
Correct. Traditionally,
Todd-
yeah.
Todd has had a conversation with Jerry Decker, and he may be bringing that to us today.
Okay.
I don't know. But just so the board knows that Coatesville has another, they may have another request for the special projects cleanup.
It sounds appropriate, though.
And just to kind of, we to this point have spent maybe a little over $1,000 out of the special projects fund after that most recent claim you all just approved. And we're expecting that we'll receive over $40,000 this year in the fund. So there's sufficient money to handle both of those.
Thank you.
Okay, what's the pleasure of the board?
Who's monitoring this activity? Is it the town of Coatesville or is it somebody else that's monitoring the video?
I expect that it may be their constable or which is fine.
Yeah, we don't want to let the professionals do that.
You don't want to get too much into the policing.
Right.
That's right.
I would like to move that we would approve the entire $8,000 coming from the special project fund.
I think, as Ben pointed out, is it 8,426?
Yep, $8,426.67.
That number.
The entire amount.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll second that.
Okay. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Very good.
Very
They'll
good.
be
Great.
pleased to hear that, I'm certain.
Oh, I'm sure. And-
Yeah.
And thank you.
Yeah, I think this is the total for everything. The 84, I think their project request was $8,000.
Yeah.
I agree. That's what I had in my head was
Okay.
that 84 is all of the grant,
Yeah, that's,
the other grants.
All included? Okay, that's kind of confusing.
Whatever it is,
Yeah, say
yeah.
$8,000.
Okay, so we're,
let the minute show it was 8,000.
Fully funded.
Fully funded.
Well, the other ones, well, had a specific dollar amount assigned to them, so, okay.
Okay.
all right, thank you.
Last, yeah, annual final disposal fee analysis,
Yes,
and we had a document on that.
correct. There was a document in your board packet. So the resolutions that the board has adopted in recent years that have adjusted that final disposal fee rate include a provision that we formally review that rate every year. And we kind of earmarked the October meeting to do that, and so here we sit. And the idea is that we will kind of do an analysis to ensure that the revenue it's generating is adequately meeting the needs of the district. So that document was included in the board packet, included a history of the fee all the way back to 1992, when it was first imposed by West Central, and then the district did a study in 2022 of the issue, and then implemented changes in January of 2024 and January of 2025 to the rate. Currently, that rate stands at $1.40 per ton, and has been in effect since April 1st of this year. The chart included in that document displays the average tonnages and incomes from 2005 to 2024, and then plus the tons collected and income generated in 2024 and in 2025. And there's lots of ways to slice this. I hope this was helpful. The blue portion is when our tipping fee was still $1. Green was when it was $1.25, and the yellow is now the current rate at $1.40. The box there in the bottom right, those are averages, what we might expect to see based on past results for the balance of 2025, just to try to give you a fuller picture. My takeaways from the chart, during the time that the fee was $1.25 per ton, the tons collected increased by 1.5%. Since the fee has been $1.40, tons collected have increased by over 6%, but we're looking at a very limited sample. It's very seasonal, very variable, so probably shouldn't put a ton of stock in that number. But initially, in the short term, that these fees have been in place, it seems that the concerns expressed about, the tonnages falling off dramatically has not come to fruition. And I'm not necessarily pushing for an adjustment to the fee at this point, but some things to say out loud. Fees are still well below what they would be if we would have just adjusted them for inflation since they were implemented. We're working hard to rebuild our cash reserves after we depleted them for our Liston Recycling Center. Seeing significant increases in costs associated with our yard waste recycling centers, and we're looking ahead to a significant investment for district office and HHW facility in the coming years. So that was my analysis. What questions do you all have?
Thoughts from the board? I'll make a comment or two and everybody can chime in. Maybe it's good that we look at this leave it at $1.40 right now. Look at this again as we think about it in the first quarter of next year, so that we can think it through, and we'll know a little bit more maybe by then too about some of our additional costs we may incur on a new facility and so on by that time, and we might have a better idea of what we ought to do. But that's just a thought.
I'm in agreement.
Yeah, I'm fine with waiting, and I mean, but the inevitable is that we're still below the adjusted rate for inflation, so, and just my personal opinion is nothing to do. I just would like to get out of, in general, the special appropriations business, right? Let's look at the center fees and costs and things like that, which you're gonna pull that data together. I just think that we need to get out of that mode, right? And
I think we're in agreement with that.
Yeah. I don't mind postponing until January, February. That's perfectly fine. March, but just planting that seed that we probably need to bump it up a little bit, especially since the tonnage hasn't reduced to the landfill, and we want to prolong the life of the landfill, right? And so.
And as I mentioned, it is just variable. It's difficult to predict. We don't have all the information, and we won't have all the information. So,
but you'll have a little more data to give to us and so on. So, and I think as we discussed in past meetings up to this point, I think we are probably in sync with the thought of whatever the inflation rate is. We need to keep looking at that and move in that direction, so we don't get behind the 8 ball again. Yeah.
Understood.
Is that okay? Yep. All right.
We will continue to talk about it.
Well, keep it out in front of everybody, yes,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
It got pushed off to the side for a decade or so, and
Right.
something needs to be revisited.
Board of Directors, comments, concerns, questions from anybody?
Just one comment, I probably need to connect with you guys after the meeting on our strategic plan and the final versions of that. And we put on quite a bit of work there, and I just want to close the loop there if I could with you guys.
Okay.
So,
I'd like to comment, I really appreciate Don and Ben and their efforts and the staff as well as far as bringing some focus and a vision to the future. I think you guys did a really good job.
Great. If nothing else, we will adjourn.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you all for everything.
You know what the tipping fee is in California?
Oh, couldn't even imagine.
$92. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Almighty God, we ask again for you to remember Adele lying in the Children's Hospital in Indianapolis. We ask that you bring healing to Gary Sowers, our secretary, and bring him back to us. And for healing for all those unnamed who are suffering, and lift their suffering. We ask these things in Christ's name. Amen.
And to protect Jamaica.
If you haven't signed in out front, please do so. First item on the agenda is approval of minutes from October the 14th.
Move for approval?
Moving second, those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, and none opposed, motion carried. Next is drainage
Excuse me.
maintenance. Oh, have we got,
Do we need to unmute him?
yes, we do.
I don't know how to do that.
I don't either.
Which one?
I can hear you guys.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Do that as well.
Thanks, Michael.
Okay, next is drain maintenance expenses for a total of $93,516.69.
Move for approval?
I'll second this, moving second. Is there further discussion?
Considerable amount of red in there, but that's the way it is.
Some of the red isn't too far off.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Moving second, is there further discussion? I will say, I hope that we can think about going back to Dalton, just for the record, for our spray program, much more in depth. So those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, and unopposed, motion carries. Next, acceptance of the auditor's report, 93,516.69.
Move to accept auditor's report from October 28th.
Second.
Moving second, those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed and unopposed, motion carries. Mr. Searwald. Dave Gaston, you're up. Seal quotes.
We have 2 sealed quotes for the Claremont Lakes project. The first is from Moraine Excavating. In the amount of $57,520. And the second is from Alexander Contractors in the amount of $50,900.
So, can you review them now, Tiffany?
If that is your wish, I thought we were gonna start.
We'd like to review and come back. to next
Come
meeting.
back, okay, that's fine. Dave, what else you got?
Well, I've asked Rinker Materials to make a short presentation to the Drainage Board on concrete pipe. No. So come on up, guys, and introduce yourselves.
His presentation. It's ready to go.
Just introduce yourself and give an address
Hi,
and location.
I'm Steve Smart with County Materials, technical resource engineer. Been in the industry over 50 years, you can tell. And this is, I'm John Susong. I'm with Rinker Materials. I live in Lebanon, Indiana, Purdue grad in civil engineering.
What are you doing?
All right, there you go, Steve. So basically, we're gonna give you a 10,000-foot view of pipe installation. Normally, this is like an hour and a half presentation, but we cut it down to 15 minutes. So I said, it's gonna be way high. So anyway, we're both members of IKO, which is a local concrete pipe association. There's all the producers scattered throughout the 3-state area. Come on, let me turn that over, Steve. That may help. Think so? Or the battery dead? There you go. Usually battery's dead. Maybe not. Yep, just click this.
You want a pointer or?
There we go. Okay, we are
all members of the American Concrete Pipe Association, which is spokesman for the concrete pipe industry. Believe it or not, it was formed in 1907 by a bunch of farm grain tile manufacturers in Iowa. And we provide a wide variety of drainage products. There's over 280 plants in the United States and Canada, plus in 10 other countries across the world. Back one. Don't stay. Well, anyway, the first concrete pipe was installed in the United States in 1942. It was in service through 1982, and they ended up pulling it out and redoing some urban relocation. Just shows you that they used a concrete pipe back in 1914. That's where the concrete pipe industry was originally developed, was in Iowa. Didn't want to get rid of it. Just shows you, the history of us. This is like 1912 in Iowa. Looking for snow here in the near future, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
They used to use horses to move pipe around on job sites before the cranes and the forklifts. So it tells us our pipe is used for storm drainage, roadway culverts, and sewers. We do diameters from 12 through 144 inch in circular. We make round, which would be your circular, your elliptical, which you have low headroom, which is the picture to the right side. And in this market, we do not make arch pipe. That's normally out in the western part of the United States. Box culverts, you've seen those around, I'm sure, for storm drains, roadway culverts, bridges, tunnels. So all buried pipelines is a structural system which consists of a pipe, which is a culvert, and the soil, which encompasses the concrete pipe, metal pipe, or plastic pipe that develops the structure around it so it will not settle in and you'll have a good, strong structure for the next 100 years. Oops. Go back one. John?
Yeah, perfect, thanks.
Didn't want to start for some reason. There we go.
So the whole point of our presentation today is about this video right here. And I'll play it another additional time to take a look at it. So we make reinforced concrete pipe, like Steve says. So we've been around a long time, over 100 plus years or more. A lot of durability, a lot of strength. When it comes to plastic pipe materials, plastic is not a structure. You've got to build the structure in the field around the pipe. So I'm just going to take a quick little example of a plastic water bottle. When you put a load on this, pretend this is pipe, what it does is it pushes the pipe out to the sides. And so the structure has to be built in the trench around the pipe. And so I'll replay this one more time so you can see it. Dumping the material in is similar to like what a farm field tile installation is like. You're just dumping it in, allowing the water to come down, allowing 3 to 6 months to basically allow that material to start to compact around the pipe. What is typically done when you get into DOT projects, agency projects, whether local governments and things, you have to build the structure around the pipe. So this area between here and here, between the trench wall and the pipe, has to be built in. You've got to put proper bedding underneath the pipe and then a proper amount of cover over it too. This is put in for the specifications anywhere from probably 6 to 12 inch lifts and compacted to a certain density. And then what that does is when you put a load on the top of the pipe, it's going to be transferred around the pipe into the soil. And so our concrete pipe, we're a structure. And so we're going to take that load. As that load comes down, it's going to come into the pipe, come around the pipe and into the soil. The plastic pipe, the structure has to be built around it. So that's kind of the simplistic way of how the two different systems work. So what are some of the things we need to do? There's got to be compaction on the product, not only for concrete pipe, but also for metal or plastic. This is the specification for farm field drainage tile. It's ASTM F449. I'm going to talk about the differences between agricultural tile and the sewers. 2321 is the one that's done for a lot of public works projects and agency projects for plastic pipe installation. So the big difference between the two is you've got to put bedding, this is the trench detail for 2321, which is the agency DOTs. You have to put a minimum of 4 to 6 inches of bedding underneath the pipe. You've got to build the structure around the whole pipe and the compaction that we saw in that video. The farm field tile is a little different. One for smaller diameters, I think it's about 8 inch roughly, is they V-notch come through and they pull the pipe in and create a point there for that groove support angle where the pipe will rest down in there and help to give the pipe some strength. The second option is when it comes to the spring line and a shaped trench. The concrete pipe industry did have a shaped trench like that years ago, over 100 years ago, and through studies and things over the years, we found that it was better to go ahead and put bedding down and to do the material up through the spring line. What happens on that is you can get into some point loads and things and can damage the pipe. So we have since changed our detail like that into similar to round like what the plastic has. So the interesting thing about this specification, and Steve and I, we live in the ASTM world when it comes to specifications for manholes, pipe.
You know what ASTM stands for? American Society of Testing and Materials. There's a standard for everything in the world, from glass, for cars to bottles.
So within this standard, they have a thing called, when we're reviewing this, called special problems. And I'm just going to call it, is the big difference between ASTM 449, which is the ag side, and 2321, which is more the public works side. And they're going through and listing a list of things that you've got to be aware. Now, so typically, when we look at ASTMs, they don't have a section there called special problems, but what they're trying to do here, in my humble opinion, is they're just trying to say, hey, buyer beware. These are some things to be looking out for if you're using farm field tiles, and if you're running this in different situations, what do you need to do in addition to what's required? So one thing they talk about is, for example, not running tractors and implements over the trench for 3 to 6 months. Because you could create a point load without that material settling over time. They want that ability to happen around the pipe. The other thing is this spec allows up to 10% deflection versus ASTM 2321 is 5%. So, 10% of 24 is 2.4 inches. It's allowed to basically deflect down. The other thing is they talk about the start hole where you're starting the drainage pipe. It says if you don't have a good support system, they refer you back to 2321 to put in some proper materials around the pipe. The other thing that they're talking about too is to do 2 passes in the field. I'm not sure if this is kind of typical or not, maybe it is, but they're trying to prevent point loads from stones or other objects from coming down on the pipe. And then there's a whole list of things on the soil side. Soils are very important to the concrete pipe industry too, to make sure that you got good bedding. And if you're in bad soils, you've got to undercut it and get it down to some good stuff. So again, it's nice this spec goes through there and talks about all these different things you need to be watching out for when you're installing a pipe. So in summary, concrete pipe, we're an engineered product. So our strength comes from our structure. Plastic pipe, it's an engineered installation. It has to be built in the trench. Concrete pipe, from a strength standpoint, we have 4 different installation types. And the reason why we do that is to give agencies and folks the ability to put pipe in on how well they think that they can install. This all goes back to how well can the contractor install our pipe. So we have a type 4 installation where you can put the pipe in the ground, use native material to backfill it with, you don't have to compact it. So that would be like a farm field tile, it could be a legal drain or something like that. You don't have to use any crushed material to help to make our pipe carry the load. We're going to carry 100% of the load. Type 3 installation is similar to like a residential or a commercial job. You're going to use some stone backfill around the pipe, probably not a lot of compaction. You're relying on the pipe to carry 75% of the load. A type 2 installation is like an NDOT project or an agency project where you've got good inspection, good compaction, It's be like City of Indianapolis, Citizens Energy Group, one of those folks, or NDOT, putting the material in, doing the lifts. You don't want to have settlement, you don't want to have dips in the road. So flip side over to the flexible side. Their whole thing is you've got to build a structure. So the contractor has to build 92% of that structure in the trench. And we think about it, that's the reason why we like to talk about concrete pipe is we're not installation sensitive. Yeah, we do rely on the soil on type 3 and type 2, 26%, 40%. But on the plastic side, they've got to do a lot of things right. And so the pipe is only giving you 8% contribution on strength. This is from an unsupported load standpoint, meaning you're going to put a 43,200 pound load on our pipe, 8 foot long, 48-inch diameter class 3 will support 43,200 pounds. An analogy for flexible pipe is at a 5% deflection, they can take about 4,100 pounds. So you can see we're about 10 times greater than what they can take. Again, the whole point of the presentation today is just materials differences and then also how important installation is when it comes to installing the pipe and building the structure around the pipe in the trench. A couple of other things to point out is we, being heavy, we're not going to float as much. 6 inches is the amount of cover we need in a condition where the water table's at the top. Plastic and metal is going to need about 38, 39 inches. This is in Florida. This pipe here probably required about maybe 30 inches of cover. High groundwater table you expect in Florida, and you can probably see maybe a foot of cover over that pipe and it popped out of the ground. The other thing is we take pride on is we don't burn. Plastic does burn, and so because of that, you've got to be cognizant of where your pipe outlets into ditches and things. And in case there's any ditches being burned or for cleaning up weeds and brush and that type of thing, you just got to be careful of that. The other thing too is sunlight will degrade plastics, livestock, and equipment. This is out in California, the Santa Rosa fire. So the California Department of Transportation posted this to LinkedIn years ago. It was interesting. When I first looked at that, I thought, well, what's wrong with the pipe? It's still there. And I said, well, no, the pipe's melted and it's down there in the invert of the pipe now. It's just the shape of the bedding that was left.
You did a good job compacting that though, because you can actually see the ribs in the sand.
Yeah, that's good. This is near Akron, Ohio, where Ed lives at, the Cayuga River. So a tanker fire, spilled fuel, went down the pipeline, and thankfully the pipeline was concrete. It did char it, but structurally it was fine. The agency inspected it and it was okay. But if that would have been plastic or metal, that would have been a long run of pipe that would have had to been dug up and replaced, and could have impacted that road 8 number there. Steve?
So back to durability, again, we're talking about, our history and everything. This pipe was 99 years old. As you can see, the steel is still, shiny, so it's been embedded in concrete. So the rigidity, resiliency, and durability is built into that. John, next one. So to finish this all off, we love doing plant tours. Come out and see our facilities anytime. We love doing that, love showing off some of the most modern concrete pipe equipment in the United States. We do training. We'll do anywhere from, like we're doing now, a 15-minute up to a full day training, if you'd like to be involved with that. We also will review your specifications, do some project review if you would need it to be done, because I'm not an engineer, but we've got engineers on staff that can review if you've got any questions about your type of projects and everything. And other than that, oops, you got to push the button.
Yeah, that's right.
That's it. Questions?
Thank you.
And we kept it under 15 minutes.
You did. Well done. Well done.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For listening.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Where are you located? Where
Uh,
are you located?
We're located about 20 miles east of Indy on Route 9, North Greenfield. And then their plant that does pipe 2 is 10 miles closer to Indianapolis. They have a manhole plant at Whitestown and a pipe plant in downtown Indy.
Yeah.
And you're always willing to have a plant tour and demonstrations if you'd like.
Yeah. Be glad to do that.
We can always do that. I think it's I thought it was good to bring the pipe manufacturers in, just to educate us. Because we do a lot of pipe work, obviously, at the Drainage Board. And unless you're in the business, you don't know. I mean, you hear things, but these presentations are really good. We'll have ADS will put on a presentation as well, in the Plastic Association. And I just think education is really valuable for what we do.
Try to be non-biased in what we do, because it's, both products are good products. It just depends on how you use them and how you install them,
Right.
because they'll both last.
We wanted to pick something up in Lebanon, like regular pipe, and not manholes. Can it be shipped there and then pick up in Lebanon, or do you have to go to the manufacturing plant to actually pick it up?
I could talk with our dispatchers and see to help out with that. I could help you guys with that. So you're talking about picking that stuff up at the Whitestown plant,
Yeah.
right there at the front?
I mean, it's close.
Yeah, by Love's Truck Stop, right, yes, yeah. Yeah, we used to stock some pipe there, but if there's something you guys need, we're always having trucks around town. We can bring some load of pipe over to the Whitestown yard and put it there for you. Yeah, be glad to help out.
Appreciate it.
You guys have contact information?
Yeah.
That they may want. I've got it in my office
Yeah.
if you ever want it, but.
Thank you.
And I hope I did.
Thank you.
I just grabbed a punch out of my truck.
Thanks.
I do, believe it or not.
Good idea.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Thank you very much. You're welcome. Maxwell, got it.
The metropolis of Maxwell, 300 people, 5 dogs, and we clean the streets. We plow the streets for it.
And a plant.
He's not here anyway, he'll be just fine.
All right, thank you
All right.
guys.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Appreciate it.
Anything
Very
else,
much.
Dave?
Pardon me?
Anything else?
I don't think so.
Anyone in the audience? Something to bring forward with the Drainage Board? If not, Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Moving to second, those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Thanks, Michael.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Done. Push that red button, I assume that's okay.
You can come up and get your.
I think if you push the phone one, yeah,
That one?
there you go, now push it again, you're good.
We've got it.
Clear.
School ball. Green we're on. Green mean we're on.
Yes, it does.
Yes, we're on.
Speak wide.
And that's each
Something to say. No, I just don't want to hot mic for moments.
Jack, so my uncle was trucking Joe Ford. And so,
Oh, gosh, that-
yes,
Leo?
yes, Leo's my other uncle. That's right.
Veterinarian, right?
Yes,
Which one?
down in, and he's in Houston,
Yep.
yes, so I was
Look
hoping,
for us.
I haven't seen mine.
Meeting to order, and ask that you stand and thank you for the pledge, followed by a prayer. Thank you. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we thank you that we do live in a nation that is one nation under God. Thank you for our founding fathers and those that have gone before us who have served so well. Pray that we will do that. We'll take our service to this community and to you that will serve well. Guide us in our thinking, we pray in Christ's name. Amen. Welcome, everybody, and those that are online looking in. Feel free to communicate with us if you have comments or questions for us. We do have a quorum. Chair would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of our October 14th meeting.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? We had our claims sent to us.
Move for approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the claims. Thank you. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair is going to, I don't know if I can do this, but I'm going to.
Yeah, you can.
I'm going to interrupt our agenda and ask Councilman Dave Cox, who wants to make a presentation or say something to us. Dave,
Yes,
thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners. On behalf of the council, we're presenting the big green sign, and you guys can put it wherever you guys think it's best that it goes. In addition to that, there's also a small plaque that you'll be receiving, and which brings up another question. The council has unanimously approved me on the head and getting 7 more of these. So each governmental entity that's connected to this program can receive one of these, which will kind of help boost their feelings of cooperation and involvement. So I would like for the commissioners to also make that approval that I go ahead and receive in that expenditure.
By consensus, we agree.
Appreciate that. If you're not aware, or audiences are not aware, the Youth Assistance Program, for one thing, the State Association of Indiana Counties is who gave this award to Hendricks County. And as far as the Youth Assistance Program, which presently has Plainfield, Town of Plainfield, Plainfield Sewer Corporation, Town of Avon, Avon Sewer Corporation, and we're in talks with Danville now. And we're trying to make it a county-wide program. The juvenile court system has told us that it appears that there's roughly a 30% reduction of juvenile referrals to the juvenile court, where this program has helped kids keep them out of that trouble. That's tremendously more than what we expected, I think. Also, if you're not aware of the assistance program, what they do is they try to spot juveniles having some type of an issue. Right now, Plainfield is working more on the elementary type kids, and Avon is working more on the high school age kids. That's just where it's at kind of right now, but they're open for anybody. There's really no hindrance. They get referrals mostly from the schools, but they can come from anybody. And if they intercede and see if there's something that can be fixed right up front and keep these kids on the right path, they do it. Both towns have a huge volunteer system, and they are the backbone of this. The county's nice enough to afford the salaries on 5 employees, and then the rest of the whole program is just ran by the volunteers, so it's a hell of a program, so.
Thank you.
But, also, I don't know if you saw it, the Republican paper had a nice article that covered the program. So as soon as he's made up, I'll go ahead and use you guys that.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank
You bet. Next on our agenda is Duke Energy Grant Presentation. Debbie Fletcher. Debbie?
Thank you very much.
Looks like you're not by yourself.
I'm not. Jean is supposed to come up here.
All right.
All right. So as I said in the note to you all, Duke Energy, they provide grants to public safety and to other entities throughout the year. We requested, or actually Sharon requested, a grant for weather radios to purchase to augment the sirens that are out there and those types of things. We're going to focus on, I think, mobile home parks and those initially, as we'd like to provide these radios with training, and so that people don't unplug them as soon as they go off the first time, because that happens, because they're noisy. So we'll get them programmed and get them to them. But we wanted to, present this in front of you all so that they could use this in marketing and other things, and also just to let you know how proud we are and how happy we are to have that grant. So that was $5,000 of a grant that'll get us about 150 or so radios. So that we wouldn't have been able to get otherwise. So.
Yes. Can you tell us who's with you?
Yes. So this is Jean Rink. Tell me your title. I don't remember.
Government Community Relations for Duke.
Well, there we go. And she has the big check. I really like that. I've always wanted one of those, but I want one with lots and lots of zeros on it. Publishers Clearinghouses never come to my house.
And they don't fit in the ATM.
They don't fit in the ATM.
No, they don't.
So do you want a picture with us?
I think we would.
If it won't break the camera?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
I think we would like that.
All right. All right, gentlemen, we probably should go down there maybe.
Yeah, that's probably easier.
Yeah.
And you have to be in the picture, I'll take it. Yes, thank you. Yeah, just move that sign, see how far.
Take her outside,
So right here, because it is a hell of a program, and I don't want to lose it.
All right.
Thank you.
I don't think I've ever had a picture taken with a check.
Not this time.
No.
All right, guys, so let's say 1, 2, 3, weather radio.
Weather radios.
One more time.
Weather radios.
Perfect,
All right.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you, Commissioner.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thanks. Do we get to keep that?
Well, I'll have one made.
Oh, no, that's fine. It rubs off.
Weather radios.
Yes. All right, next on our agenda is a great program, the B&O Trail. And Jeff Smallwood, who I think is the B&O Trail, goes back many years with some other folks, but Jeff, you've kind of spearheaded everything now. So with the Halls and Diana Virgil, not around anymore. So you want our blessing on something?
Yes, well, as you know, there's a conservation easement over the entire corridor that we own in Hendricks County in favor of the county. And so anytime we want to grant an easement or any kind of encroachment, then that has to have a county approval. So we were recently contacted by representatives of Britton Farms about a water line that already exists under our corridor. It was installed apparently in 99, years before we actually acquired the corridor. But they would like to have an easement for that now, and it really makes sense for both parties. We need to formalize that to make sure everyone's aware that it's there. And the key thing for us is that we have language in here that requires that if they ever need to do maintenance or a replacement of that line, that they would restore the above-ground conditions to their original condition. So if the trail's already built and they have to dig through it, then they have to restore the trail to the condition it was before they did their work. That's the key thing. And then also the termination conditions would be that if they ever cease to need to irrigate those farms out there, which may never happen, but at least if they did ever cease to need irrigation, that they would take up the water line at their expense and again restore the above-ground conditions to their original condition. Those, I think, are the primary things. Happy to answer any questions about it. Greg, I think I'm sorry I was still getting it to you, but we're able to review it. It's pretty much a standard easement agreement.
So with
Mr.
that,
Chairman, move for approval.
okay,
Second.
it's been moved and seconded to approve this water line easement. And all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay.
Thank you,
Jeff,
Jeff.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You bet. Next on our agenda is some discussion with us by Alan McCamey. Alan? Good to have you with us.
I'm on the agenda as talking about the town of Center Valley, which was a process that I began earlier this year. It's still on a very back burner right now. I know you guys weren't overly in favor of that. My direct mailers did receive about 8% of the landowners wishing to do something like that, but I didn't pursue it very hard. After the email with you, I decided just to kind of stay where it was. I already have an estimate from Vanity Engineering that was about $15,000 to the town survey. Either way, so we kind of shelved that idea. Today, I'm here to talk more about a fire protection district. I know that Trustee Butler and Chief Russell were here last year, I believe it was, I think last spring, to talk about the initial thought processes on that. And I want to continue that conversation with you guys, since if it does get petitioned to you guys are the ultimate authority in establishing that district. I've done some research. I've talked with your attorney and stuff on this, and it appears that to be able to petition you guys for a fire protection district, it would have to be petitioned by either 20% of the freeholders in the area or by the municipality, which would be the town of Clayton. I have not talked to the town of Clayton yet on this. I was just trying to get some feelers out to see how you guys felt about that. With the westward march of the town of Plainfield into our area, that will eliminate our fire department at one point, especially after the Hinkie annexation gets complete. By state law, they would then be able to annex the industrial park, which is our sole revenue source. So with the fire protection district, if it's established prior to an annexation, and we have over $1 billion in assets, fire protection district would remain. And I know with Senate Bill 1 from this past year that they're going to change the taxing rates. It'll probably eliminate township government one way or another, which would put it back into the county's hands anyways. So that's where I want to kind of open this discussion. Right now, our tax rate, we're about 9 cents on the 100 assessed valuation. But our effective tax rate's about 22 cents on the 100 because the trustee is using his savings account, which was about 1.5 million, to help fund some of our services that we currently do right now. And plus that also includes the little over $250,000 we get lit money, which may go away after 2028. And also we get $300,000 to $350,000 in ambulance billing. It's a shy mark of the $1 million that we actually bill out. So, but that's a lot of that's Medicare, Medicaid that causes those effects. And just to put it in perspective, if Plainfield Fire Territory was to come out in our area, they're 37 cents on the 100, just for the fire territory. So we can offer a service much cheaper than they can at this point. So it's just, those things are just stuff I was wanting to talk to you guys, see if you guys had any questions. Because once the petition gets done, if it gets done, I mean, of course, you guys have to do the public hearing, then you have to adopt an ordinance, and then you guys set the board of fire trustees, which is a minimum of 3 people. And those are appointed by you to run the fire district. And that fire district can be expanded throughout the rest of the county if needed down the road.
Questions of Alan?
Yes, Mr. President. So you can actually, the legislation allows to eliminate, you have to be a freeholder to sign the petition?
To do a petition to form a fire protection district, it does state that it's a freeholder of at least 20% of the population. I I got the actual law written up right here.
I'm not
Sure,
questioning.
it's easy reading.
Right. Yeah, at least 20% with a minimum of 500 freeholders owning land within the proposed district. Or by a municipality passing the
I'm
ordinance.
surprised that the law eliminates people who aren't freeholders.
Correct. Well, and then that pulls up the other thing that is also on my burner, because if you notice, I have a lot of projects on my plate, is utilizing the Government Modernization Act of 2006, which allows local units of government to basically consolidate like the city of Indianapolis did. The last one to do it was Adams Township in Sheridan. Zionsville did it with Union and Eagle Townships. So I have already approached the legislative bodies down there. It's lukewarm at best, but it would consolidate Liberty Township and the town of Clayton into one. It pushes the boundaries all the way out. Again, I live in the rural community too. Most of us don't want to be governed by a town. I mean, it is what it is. And unfortunately, it's probably gonna be shoved down our throats eventually anyways. I don't know if it'll be in my lifetime. So it's trying to slow whatever we can down at the time, but the Government Modernization Act would work. It would reset everything. And that's done actually at the voters. So it has to be 50% of the town's voters and 50% of the township voters that show up for election day to approve the measure. And it's on a referendum. The earliest we can do it would be November of 2026. But that requires the resolutions and ordinance of those government agencies to put the question on the ballot.
So this petition, to whom do you present the petition?
Which one are we talking about? Because I covered a lot of
The
different.
free,
For the fire protection district? So the petition would be petitioned, and we discussed that, we believe it's to you guys, but he said it could be the county council, he's gonna look into that.
that's all I have to say.
Okay.
No questions.
Okay.
And I can email you this information later, I have all the email addresses.
I think some thoughts that I've had discussions with Johnson County commissioners. Johnson County has a pretty large fire district established, as I understand it, for different reasons, primarily safety, public safety. I think that's the main purpose. Certainly a governmental entity, whatever that may be, town, county. Well, I think one of our highest priorities is always public safety. And a part of that is public safety of fire, EMS. Most of what you're doing is not on the fire side. It's more on the EMS side, I would imagine.
I kind of do both, I run the Fire Prevention Bureau as well.
But I mean, as far as the runs you have.
Right, yeah,
and so on.
65% of our runs are EMS.
Right.
And we sustain, our run volume's increasing average of 13% every year. And a lot of that's due to the buildings that are going in down there. 2 years ago, when I restarted our ALS program down there, our run load jumped 20% in 1 year, so.
So I would think that if you feel that there's public support and you want to continue to move ahead with presenting something to us later on, I don't think we would discourage you from doing that. It may not be that we would approve it, but until we know more detail, I don't think we can approve or disapprove.
Correct. I just wanted to start that conversation because with the Center Valley thing, I kind of didn't go through the proper channels and stuff, so, you know.
No, you were fine with that.
The information provided us was good information.
Yes.
You put a lot of time into
And
it.
it's all about the transparency and open communication. I just want to make sure that we have that communication going forward, so that we're all on the same page when something may or may not approach us.
There's still a lot of rural area, as I'll call it, in the county, and so on, that is served by volunteers. And I think we're going to be moving as a county as it grows and grows to where volunteer services are probably not going to be the way service should be provided. And so we probably need to begin to look at this. So I guess we would say if you want to keep studying this and working on it, not to give you a lot more work to do, but I think I know you well enough that you're going to take it and run with it.
Of course.
And, so, yeah. So, thank you.
All right, appreciate it.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
You bet. Yeah. Next on our agenda is project Tim Dombrowski that's gone through the Plan Commission and Laser Logistics. Yes, Tim, that's fine. Thank you.
Morning.
Good morning.
A bit of a cough, so excuse me if I have to catch my breath. Before you is a petition to rezone a parcel of ground from MI Major Industrial to GB General Business. It's a building that was used for West Side Gymnastics facility under the MI zoning as a non-conforming parcel. A new use, well, there was a fire, and a new use, similar use, sports training, wants to inhabit the building. So in order to do that as a new use, we'll make everything conforming and change the zoning to general business to permit that use. So the property owner petitioned to allow for that. The Plan Commission made a unanimous favorable recommendation along with staff with no remonstrance.
Move for approval, Mr. President.
Second.
Any further questions of Tim? It's been moved and seconded to approve the change in zoning for Laser Logistics LLC. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you, Tim. Hope you feel better. All right. I hope you feel better quickly.
Good morning.
Bridget Collins. Good morning.
Morning, Bridget.
How are you today?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Great, thanks.
I just need to have my contract signed for my Tech 84 body scanner. They do it annually. The cost of paying for things a la carte is astronomical compared to just doing the contract. That way if we have any issues, they come, they repair it, and we keep moving.
Okay.
So.
Move for approval.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any other questions? This is a one-year agreement, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Thanks,
Thank
Bridget.
you.
Thanks for all you do.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next on our agenda is Coroner's Office.
Morning.
Good morning, Dan.
Wanted to bring before you guys, we charge fees for records and stuff, but realized that we never had an ordinance. So we wanted to bring an ordinance in front of you guys to be able to charge fees for different services that we provide. We've been getting a lot of requests now from insurance companies for pictures, reports, and everything, and it takes my staff time to pull all that. So we wanted to pass that cost along to the people that are requesting it.
So you have not been passing along or charging anybody, or you have been
Just,
charging?
we have been charging.
Without an ordinance?
Without the ordinance.
Got it.
Yes.
So all we're doing is making this
Valid.
Valid, yes. And then moving into the new place, we've had requests.
Do we have to advertise it? We
There'll
have
be a
to-
public hearing November 12th.
Public hearing? Can we do it right now?
No.
Good try. I'm ready to go. When would the public hearing be? November 12th, okay. So, are we okay with that?
We are.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks, Dan. And Dan, I think you're now in a building owned by the county.
Yeah, that's really fast. We were thinking about, man, where are we gonna move in 3 years? After getting this one set up.
All right, thank you. Chad, good morning, sir.
Morning, how are you guys?
Great, thank you. You're here wanting this case-based software user agreement?
Yes, sir.
$1,500 a month?
Yes, sir.
That's it?
That's it.
All right. Are you doing it now?
We've been demoing it for about 4 or 5 months, trying to see how it could help us. The idea here is that the automation of some of these services that this provides can help save us a lot of time, so we can spend more time face-to-face with clients doing effective work rather than some of the admin work on the backside.
Is it in your budget?
Yes, absolutely.
Move for approval.
Second.
Thanks. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. Thank you. You bet. All right. Paul. Good morning, Paul. You had a vacation recently, right? Welcome
A
back.
couple of weeks ago.
Okay, good. Glad to have you back.
Well, thank you.
I think first up is carpet replacement for Superior Court number 2.
Yes, Superior Court number 2, it's not had a whole lot done to it over the past quite a few years. And we're cleaning some of that up. So on the carpet, I've got a couple quotes, one from Jack Lorry Flooring and one from Brewer Flooring.
Right.
And I really kind of like the one from Brewer Flooring. They're a local company.
Okay.
And
Is that the number you gave us, the $24,146?
yes, sir.
27 cents?
Yep.
That's Brewer, okay.
Yep. And that includes, that price includes if I go with the carpet like we've been using in the courthouse.
Okay.
But I've took some other samples up to them, and I can probably knock some of that down, so if we use a different
So it may
carpet.
it may be lower than that.
Maybe a little lower.
But probably not higher.
It shouldn't be.
All right.
Paul, what's the difference between the 24,146 and the 20,232 on the quote from Brewer?
Oh, the 22 and the 24?
Yeah, the 24,146 that's shown on the request, and then the 20,232 on Brewer's proposal.
One took sales tax off.
What's that?
One took sales tax off.
Yeah, but
Oh,
that's-
yeah.
there's just a $4,000 discrepancy. What am I missing?
Yes.
Sign a contract, your request is 24,000, but the proposal is
It's a
20,000.
different type of carpet.
Oh,
Yeah.
It goes
okay,
with a different type.
okay. And
Yeah, if I
it's
go
the
with the
option. I got
interface
you.
carpet, then it's
I'm slow,
then it's a
I'm
little
sleep
more.
deprived.
We'll keep you awake.
Appreciate
But
it.
like I said, they're looking at, he's sending me some samples of some other carpet that we can, that he handles a different line of.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to that, so
Okay.
it's still a quality carpet.
Move for approval.
Second.
Then moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Go right ahead, Paul, on
Okay, my other one is for
Furniture.
office furniture for them.
Yep.
And I only have one quote for them. It's a furniture like we've been putting in all of the other
Okay.
offices, buildings,
Same vendor.
same vendor.
Okay.
We get that through, buy it through Omnia Partners, which is a government buying program.
Okay.
We get a very good deal on it. This is numerous stuff. I've got actually 5 workstations for their office. I've got some beam seating for their courtroom. And then we also, in there, I threw in a couple of chairs for the security guys,
Okay.
because theirs are worn out.
Okay.
But by doing all that all at once, my shipping all ties together, so
Okay.
we save a little bit of money on shipping.
Does Catherine get anything out of this?
I think it includes her cut. Yeah, I think it includes her cut.
$57,001.
Move for approval.
Second.
Any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you, Paul. And keep going. Work release, HVAC building management system.
Okay, well, I've got new rooftop units on their way to the work release. I emailed my guy today to get an update on that. I haven't heard back from him yet. But I should be getting very close, because there was like a 6 to 8 week lead time. It's been 6 weeks, so they should be here any time, I would hope. But the building controls, I'd like to update those controls, the building management system, while we're doing this project. So I got a quote from Precision Controls, who does our controls in 3 or 4 of our other buildings. They're very responsive. I got another quote from Envelop, which is open controls. They're very responsive as well. They do the controls at the new jail. But the Precision Controls, I kind of like them just because I'm more familiar with their system. I kind of like to keep that continuity going. And they are actually about $10,000 less than Open Controls was to upgrade.
So you feel they're the lowest and best? Okay. Chair would entertain a motion.
Move for precision control.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. All right, Paul.
Stop now.
Transfer of property, a Christmas tree.
Yeah, my
That's what it
courthouse,
says.
my courthouse Christmas tree, if you recall, was a big 25-foot Christmas tree. And it's not been put up in quite a few years. We put it up in 2019. Shortly after we put it up, there was a altercation in the courthouse. The security guy said it was more of a security risk. We left it up the rest of that year. The next year was COVID. We did not put it up, and then we've just kind of not put it up ever since. So it's very time consuming. Do what?
You want to bring it back?
No.
No, okay.
It's very time consuming. And when we
It
were
was a lot of
doing
fun
it,
to set that up, wasn't it?
it would take,
Easy,
it would
just
take
roll it
4
out.
of us about 2 days to do, and I really don't have that manpower anymore, which we could get the thing up there, but it's
Yeah.
quite the project.
That's fine.
And the town had sparked an interest in it, and Jack had dealt with the downtown Danville partnership.
Right.
And they had all sparked an interest in this tree. They think they wanted for their decorations they do on the square for the whole the town's Christmas lighting. Anyways, after contacting the town, they do have an interest in it. I just don't know the right steps that I got to do about seeing if we can get it to
Move to
them.
allow the transfer.
Okay.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to let you make the transfer or figure out how to make the transfer.
Tell them to come pick up their Christmas
And-
tree.
Well, they called me last week and they were ready to come and get it
All
done.
right.
They can have it now.
I said, you guys gotta put
All
brakes
all
on
in
it.
favor, say aye.
Aye.
And we say Merry Christmas
Yep.
as well. So, well, thank you, Paul.
Thank you very much.
You bet. All right. Kim, glad you're here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
I guess we're requesting that you sign a notice to bidders for highway supplies.
Right.
Do you have a copy?
We do.
It looks like it just needs the president's signature.
Right. It does. So, and it's
Moved on to
really,
authorize the president to sign.
Move. Second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. So
Thank
this is the notice to the bidders, and then we'll be getting that back, so, okay. Very good. Okay. You'll tell us more later on our agenda.
Yes, sir.
All right.
It's
Ann, you are up.
Yes, these two properties were at the 2025 tax sale. They did not sell, they are just land. These two are the two that John and you guys have looked at and agree that the county could take. We just need you to sign the resolution, and then after so many days, we can petition for the tax deed.
Okay.
Move for approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay, very good. Our meeting schedule has been given to us, or at least proposed by Mila, and Chair would entertain a motion for the year 2026 meeting schedule, which I think really mirrors this year's meeting schedule.
Correct.
Move for approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thanks. And you'll let everybody know?
Yes.
All right. They probably know already. Next item is you need to,
Ratify your actions.
thank you. Searching for the word. I've already signed it. We've already purchased it. It's done. You need to ratify that. Or I guess I'm gonna own a building on the east side of town.
Move to accept the purchase and closing that Mr. Dawes Took care
Second.
of.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. And that's the building that our coroner's office is in.
Congratulations.
Yes, that's right, that's right, yeah. There's more to do with all of that, but we'll get there. We had a request from the Hendricks Regional Health Board of Trustees on the reappointment of Dr. Mark Gentry and Mr. Tim Wicker to serve another 4-year term.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve their new term starting next year. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Very good. All right. Next on our agenda, comments from the floor. Anybody out there want to make a comment? Tim? Yes, yes.
This doesn't necessarily require action by you, that's kind of why.
We like those types of things.
Agenda, but we discussed, an ordinance update, a major ordinance update after our comprehensive plan. And then discussed with the plan commission, public outreach during that. And, there isn't really public outreach in the modern age without social media. So we want to talk about how we're going to do that. Talked about it at the plan commission. There was kind of a consensus to move cautiously forward with that, but wanted to make the plan commissioner, the commissioners aware of it. Brad has been briefed, obviously, saw this presentation given by Ian, and his, role here with my office during this process will be public engagement, really more so, than planning expertise, but just social engagement or, public input, social, and then the use of social media. So we have this presentation. He's just going to give you a little bit of the highlights from it, and then I want your feedback.
Okay.
Yeah, so just kind of highlighting a couple things from it we wanted to look at. So when I was putting this together, I did some research on other local government units that use social media. So 2 units here in Hendricks County use it, the Sheriff's Department and the Department of Public Health. I have some numbers on these two. The Hendricks County Sheriff's Department Facebook page has 18,000 followers, and the Department of Health has 5,000 followers. And then some other towns in the county that use social media include Plainfield, which has 21,000, Avon, which has 17,000, and Danville, which has 9,000. So this kind of shows that there's a pretty significant engagement with social media that's being used by governments in the county. And then we wanted to take a look at a couple of what we identified as cons of social media engagement. Main one that we wanted to talk about was digital divide. A lot of people don't necessarily use social media, but so we kind of wanted to focus on mitigating that by just using our traditional means of engagement as well. So still posting, like if we still do like ads in newspapers or doing like traditional public meetings, stuff like that. We also wanted to focus on using social media not necessarily as like a means of engagement, but as a means to gain more engagement in areas where we want it. So we talked about guiding people to like different forms, like maybe like a survey or some kind of thing using social media, or also guiding people to public meetings, just kind of giving people an extra resource for that. And then we were looking at some of the positives of social media engagement, if I can look at my thing correctly. We talked about some of the positives include expanded reach and accessibility. So extends reach to especially younger members of the community who may not be as involved in like reading newspapers or coming to public meetings, things like that. It allows for community building. It can help foster community development, creates dialogue between residents and the government, and really it helps increase transparency and accountability. So sharing updates, especially during this ordinance process, so as we're revising the ordinances based on the comprehensive plan, using social media can really help with kind of showing that we're like listening to people and also trying to get out as much information as possible. So I think our main proposal is to just create a Facebook account that'd be used by the Planning and Building Department and Plan Commission, just kind of be able to disseminate information, and then also get people information on when we're going to be doing like public hearings or public meetings or just like open community workshop type things.
Questions?
Mr. President, So I think it's a fine idea. I read your moderation on social platforms. I agree with those. The only issue, we've had these in the past. How do you screen out those people that are from other counties that try to worm their way in and make comments? Or, yeah, we need a bowling alley here, and they don't even live here.
Yeah, we'll make it clear on the Facebook page that that is not the way that we're gathering statistics and information. It's really, whether we allow comments or not, I'm not 100% on yet, but it won't be the method that we learn from. It'll be how we point people to either our survey or public input at public meetings at the planning commissioner or commissioners. It won't be the way that we actually form the ordinances.
Yeah, well, we'd be wanting to use like everybody gives their address when they speak at like a public meeting, or like if we did a survey, we would have people give their address for, like online on the survey, because of the first question, where do you live? Do you live in Hendricks County? Something like that, so that we actually know if people are, the people we're trying to reach.
They had done a presentation for the.
Right. Tim had asked me if he could, I told him to keep it brief, which he did.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
And, I'd say we would encourage you to move ahead.
All right,
Yeah.
consent, we'll move ahead. We'll let you know how it's going.
Yeah.
Okay?
Thanks.
You got another one?
Yes,
Sorry.
Jay.
Based on that.
Name and address and
Yes.
social security number.
Jay Thompson, 7722 Quail Creek Trace in Pittsburgh. Just a note of caution about the social media stuff. I just checked on there. I don't like to do them because I don't want to spend 2 days reading. They have a 16-page terms of service and 40 pages on their privacy policy. So that's going to be a bit of research, I think, for legal counsel before we sign up, I would think. I don't know, maybe it's a legal document, and I just kind of wondered,
I didn't hear what you're talking about.
Oh, the Facebook, if they want to sign up, the terms of service and the privacy policy, both have to agree, and they say it's a fully binding legal document, so I thought maybe something you ought to be aware of, because it's pretty involved. So you want to make sure what you're getting involved in. So I was just coming up here to follow up on my, your signal cell booster we talked about last meeting. I went down after the last meeting and checked the internal antenna system. The two coax feeds are not bad, but they have a T connector on it. The cell booster was designed to have one feed, and they put a mechanical T on there. That's a big no-no in the RF world. It may work for an air pressure line or water hoses, but basically you now have half the impedance or resistance on each line coming out of there. So I think that could be another reason you have poor performance. I think maybe you ought to go back to the company that did the install, and I could put together a report for you and show you all the things I've found, and maybe they could come out and remediate that for you, because I don't know what you paid for it, but you expected a professional installation job and you didn't get one. So
Just off the top of my head, Jay, I would say, can you work with Paul on
Sure.
that? And then Paul can come back to us or have you move ahead, whatever.
Sure, yeah, I didn't know how you want to proceed on that, but,
Yeah.
because the other thing is those cell boosters, from what I can tell in FCC rules, should be registered. I don't find one for you guys, so there's another flaw.
Okay. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay.
You bet. Anybody else? Comments from the floor? Okay. Elected officials. Any elected officials? We did have an email or something from Dawn Maywood about property tax homestead deferral, and she, in the email, there she is. Come on up. You were hiding back there.
Yes.
Please stand up.
Please stand up.
All right, Dawn, I'm gonna say
Have
this.
questions?
I'm gonna say this, and they can agree or disagree, but.
Okay.
But you wanted to move ahead the way things are now, keep it as it is, not go into this proposed deferral, and I
Yes,
think
sir.
we would support that.
Yes.
Oh, thank you, thank you,
Yep.
thank you,
Okay,
thank you so much.
right.
That's huge.
Okay, you bet.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Thanks for bringing it to our attention. Appreciate it. You bet.
Well, thank you.
Any other elected officials? Okay. Staff reports, Mr. Galloway.
Everything's kind of for information unless you have any questions. I do have a resolution to sign with Avon.
Yeah.
You're aware of it?
We are, and we will sign that if you got it.
Did they?
Do we have to take a motion for it?
I need to give it.
We need a motion
Move
to, okay. Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
So we can go ahead and sign this then?
Yeah.
And the second thing, I have the plan sheet for the phase of Ronald Reagan from 750 to 1,000 that we never got your signature on.
Oh, okay.
So just to make it official, we'd like your John Henry's.
You have a special pen too, don't you?
I gotta be honest, this isn't it. His office is locked, but this is very similar.
That's fine. We'll see if that
You'll
works.
take the heat if it doesn't.
I will.
We only sign one of these, I assume, so.
And I believe that's all I had unless you have something for us or me.
Let's see. No. I do not. Anybody have anything else for Tim? Where are we signing this? Oh, right there, sorry.
Got to go both directions now, and handed me that one.
All right. Sorry, folks, while we do this.
Wrong pen, didn't he?
Well, I'll give it to you in a minute. There you go.
I back got myself in trouble and signed it with mine.
Mr. McCormick.
I've already gotten some feedback on some of my items, but I'll be happy to discuss any of them that you wish to discuss.
Let's see, please, Todd, on the building we just purchased, and if you would work on that rental situation in there, please move ahead with that.
Okay.
That would be helpful. And the same with Congressman's lease, if you want to talk to them, go right ahead. My question on the meal allowance for travel, the statement that you gave us, or the certification, is what's on here what the state is doing?
That's
now?
what we're currently doing.
That's what. and-
I have the state, which
Okay.
is the state
Is
reimbursement rate.
the state reimbursement rate more than what we're doing?
Yes,
It is, okay.
For meals,
yes.
Okay.
what is the allowance?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
But we follow the state's travel allowance for mileage, right?
Correct.
Okay, okay. I assume it's not a huge difference.
That's what I'm
It
saying,
is.
no offense,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't want to approve, Sullivan's Steakhouse for every meal.
Why not?
I think I
Just once in a while?
Yeah, once in a while, maybe.
Okay,
And I wasn't necessarily looking for any approval today. It
Oh,
was
okay.
just whether you wanted me to research it
Oh,
further.
yeah,
Pursue it,
Yes.
yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Please
Yeah.
pursue it.
Okay.
please do.
I'd come back to you with the
Please do.
specific
Yeah,
information.
yeah. And then, I have had a conversation with the councilman on that issue and told him that we are the ones working on that, and that you will be involved in that, along with others on that, so we'll take it. And I don't know if they were okay with that, but that's what I told them.
All right.
All right. Let's see, was there anything else on here? We need to plan, I think, an executive session that we could do on 11/25, no, 11/12.
The next commissioners meeting.
Next commissioners meeting that we would talk about, personnel issues, primarily that, yeah.
So you're asking to advertise it then?
Yes.
That's fine. Yes.
Have a time, do you wanna do it in the morning before?
Let's set it, we can set it early and then as long as we don't start sooner than that.
Okay.
Yeah, do that.
I'll just make a time.
You know, but no, let's don't do it at 7 a.m.
No.
No,
After regional
yeah,
sewer,
yeah.
okay.
but set it early enough, so, yeah.
Well, this is an executive session you're talking
Yes,
about?
yes,
Will it be on the same day of a regular
same
meeting?
day, yeah.
Okay, that's
yeah.
fine.
I think that's it. All right.
Thank
Anything, Todd, anything else? Okay, thank you. Glad you had a good vacation.
I did.
Good.
Thank you.
Mr. Morris, anything?
Just a few updates on the county domain. We're moving forward with that. I don't believe you guys will be contacted, but just wanted to make you aware of it. They're supposed to run all the correspondence through me, but just to make you quickly aware of it.
Okay.
One thing I wanted to mention with the social media, something we haven't done because the health department is under the control of the health board, sheriff is his own elected official.
Yeah.
But any kind of social media is considered public information, subject to public requests. So if we're gonna move forward with opening that up, we're gonna have to look into being able to archive social media from this point forward.
Okay.
Not really sure the aspect of that or the cost. I know there's several other agencies have dealt with that, so I'll certainly look into that for something that moving forward, because I think we gotta cover our bases.
Tim, and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm looking at Mr. Wicker, he's got the same expression I do. So we're gonna have to historically archive everything,
It's considered public record.
every.
Meta's saving it for us. I would rely on the provider saving it, right?
No.
It's all there.
Yeah,
I mean,
you don't, no, Facebook won't do that.
But all the history's there.
It doesn't matter. From everything I've
Kind of
seen,
redundant, I would rely on them because the data's there.
everything
Doesn't
I've
go
seen,
away.
yeah, everything I've seen, because I don't know what the retention rates are. I know it's always been a big and reason we've kind of tried to keep social media at a minimum because of the requirements of that.
Question
Well, I
that
look at
how,
the other municipalities that are utilizing it very
Yeah.
well. I mean,
Yeah, most of them
Plainfield's a prime example of
use
it.
a company called Archive Social. I know like Tippecanoe, I've had conversations, they're very heavily involved,
Third party
Hamilton
to do
County
it.
as well.
so how long do you have to keep this material?
I don't remember, I think 7 years at a minimum, but I'm not 100% sure on that, have to look into that. Again, I don't remember the details, but that's something, yeah, we have to keep in mind.
Dead.
I know. And even if you keep public comment at a minimum, you still have to retain some of it, so yeah. So I'll look into it and we'll kind of see from that aspect what it's gonna be.
Great.
All right.
Thank you. Paul, you're up again.
Well, most of my report's all just informational stuff. But the highway department, we've got steel going up there. It's almost looking like a building out there.
Driven by there.
And we got a progress meeting here shortly out there, so we'll get some more updates on that. Fairgrounds, I'm still waiting on the state permit that Graber is getting, but we've got that all ready to roll. The minute they get a permit in hand, the concrete guy's ready to go, so. The roof here is moving along very well. They've got to put some battens on that dome at the top, and then that upper scaffolding should be going away. With that out of the way, they'll be able to finish this whole front facade. But they're hoping to be done by about the middle of November, so.
Hopefully it won't snow between now and then.
Okay. Then I really think that's about it. The fire alarm is all been updated. It's all up and working, all new. That's all part of the elevator modernization, so, which that should be starting up by mid-month as well, so.
Great. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Counselor? Commissioners? I always have something, but I have a comment. I think not everybody's aware, but some people are, that we, the county, entered into a space study, year ago, maybe more, something like that. That study was completed. There were some presentations made primarily to the Capital Projects Committee and some others. Nothing that we have as commissioners approved on that at this point in time, but the study is there. We have not, quote, made it public, but that study's there. At some point in time, we will begin to move further with that, but at this point in time, you might say it's on the shelf, but we haven't forgotten about it, and it's not a published document for the public to see, but it does look at every office that exists and that the county has control of, and at some point, we'll make that a public document, but not at this point in time.
We're just not ready for input.
Yeah, thank you. And the only reason I say that, individual talking to me about it from the outside, and I've been communicating with them, and I think at the right time, we'll do something with that, but we just don't feel now's the time. We're not ready, so, yeah. That's all I have. Anything else that we would have? No. We are adjourned. Thank you.